Welcome to News Now Alberta. This is Special Ed. Today we're looking at a cop who shot a man 18 times after giving him less than a second to react to his commands.
You're watching News 19. We start with breaking news.
And we are leading off the 5 with new information on breaking news out of Decatur at this hour. A judge has denied the claim of self-defense from a former Decatur police officer in the shooting death of Stephen Perkins.
Now the murder case against Marquette is set to go before a jury this summer. News 19's investigative reporter Dallas Parker joining us with this major breaking development.
That's right. In the last hour, Judge Charles Elliott issued a 17-page order finding that Marquette did not prove he acted in self-defense in the shooting death of Stephen Perkins. Under Alabama law, an immunity hearing gives a defendant an opportunity to provide evidence that they were justified in using deadly force. But the defendant has the burden of proof, and Judge Elliott found today Marquette did not meet that burden. Now, Marquette's immunity hearing lasted 2 days. Witnesses included the tow truck driver who tried to repossess Perkins' truck, 2 Decatur officers on the scene that night, and an Aaliyah investigator. While the defense argued the officers were there to help the tow truck driver, prosecutors said the officers' actions led to a deadly escalation at the scene. Now, the judge's order includes a narrative of the final seconds before Marquette shot Perkins. After Perkins confronted the driver again, Marquette yelled, "Hey," and Perkins turned back toward Marquette. The light from Perkins' gun can be seen moving underneath his truck, and Marquette shouted, "Police, get on the ground." As Marquette gave the order, for the light from Perkins' gun passed over Marquette 3 times. Now, as Marquette said the word "on," Perkins' gun light moved above Marquette and raises above the roof of Perkins' home. As the word "ground" is being said, Marquette fired the first of 18 rounds. Perkins fell after 4 shots, and Marquette kept firing until he fired every single bullet in his gun. The court found from the time Marquette yelled "hey" to Marquette firing his weapon, 1.4 seconds had elapsed. This is taken from Judge Elliott's review of the evidence presented during the hearing. Now, the judge said the matter came down to 2 questions. Was Marquette acting in the scope of his employment, and were his actions consistent with what a reasonable officer would have done in his situation? Judge Elliott then wrote Agent King has testified that if the defendant was going to Perkins' residence to assist Combs in the repossession, then he was acting outside of the scope of his employment as a law enforcement officer. However, if the officers were there to keep the peace, then these 2 questions of fact can only be answered by a jury. Now, in the ruling, the judge also rescheduled Marquette's murder trial that was set to start next week. He's moved it to June 9th. Marquette can appeal this immunity hearing ruling before his trial starts, so we will have to wait and see if they decide to pursue that appeal.
So he emptied his clip into an unarmed man who was trying to stop his truck from being repossessed. Now, what kind of officer is this? He gave him 1.9 seconds, I believe, in total to do something, but all he did was turn around towards the cop, and the cop emptied his clip inside this man. What do you think of this? What do you think of this cop? Do you think he should be in jail for life? He is facing murder charges right now. Let me know in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.